Hi. Right. This is now lecture 2, and the title for lecture 2 is Title and Introduction, particularly for Social Science and Business Management cluster. Okay, let's begin. These are some of the things that you will learn from this slide. Number one, you will learn how to write the title for your thesis, or rather the working title, and you learn to write the introduction of your thesis. It's chapter 1 actually. Title. You must know where you are going with the title. Some people I know are very good with the choice of words. Your vocabulary is very good. Um, your language is very good. So your title becomes very creative. All right. It's very wordy. It uses big words. So you assume that when a person reads your title, the person will be impressed. Impressed with the vocabulary, nevertheless. Yes, impressed with your language, your choice of words, but the reader have no idea of what the title is all about. It's just good words. The title should summarize the main idea or ideas of your study. Not too much, but just enough for the person reading it to to guess or maybe to be interested. All right. They look at your title, they will decide whether they want to whether they want to continue reading or not. So a little bit of hints there. A good title contains the fewest possible words that adequately describes the contents and or purpose of your research. If it's too long, a study to investigate then it occupies what 2-3 lines. Then the reader will get confused. So exactly what is this title all about? There's too much words in it. Or if it's too short, not good. Communication at the workplace, then looks like a title of the book, but it's not a title of research because I don't know where you're going with it. It does not provide any information on the focus of the research paper. All right, so what to think about when you are formulating a research paper title? Number one is the purpose of your research. Why are you doing it? I'm sure you will have a little bit of that in your title. The narrative tone of the paper, all right? Maybe a little bit of hint to the reader as to the type of research that you're going to carry out. Maybe a little bit of methods, but not a whole list, not the whole chapter of methodology, chapter 3. All right, okay. Okay, I would like to call it a working title because the title, the writer is expected to change throughout the whole of the research process. It's okay, there's nothing wrong. That's why it's called a working title because maybe by the time you finish writing it, you realize that the variables might change, certain things in the information might have changed. You want to add or you want to get rid of some words. The title summarizes the main idea or ideas of your study. A good title contains the fewest possible words that adequately describe the contents and or purpose of your study. Create a working title at the start. You should have a working title. Don't just write a topic. A working title. It will change nevertheless, but you should write a tentative title first. But remember the tentative title, at the end of it, the title may change, but the topic is still the same. Your area is still the same. This can and will be changed, adjusted accordingly when you have completed your thesis. You need to constantly refer back to the working title. In my case, when I'm checking my supervisor's work, I have a few supervisors, and I don't think the super as a supervisee you should just send your work without a title every time because you should be considerate that your supervisors have more than one supervisees, and different supervisees do different title. So if you do not write a working title at the top of your work and your supervisor is expected to check, they need to actually base it on something. So there should be some tentative title given there. All right, let's recap that title, that some of the tips. Also, I have another interesting style, keyword style that I like to do with my academic writing students or research methodology students. I teach them keyword style. What does this keyword style mean? For example, if I'm interested in the title relationship between perceived writing difficulties, I mean, I want to look at why people think writing is difficult, writing behavior, and writing performance among who undergraduates in University X towards academic writing. So this will be my working title. Following the title tips just now, tip number 2, very important. You need to check whether this is a good title. Can you locate the variables? Can you locate the setting? Can you locate the subject? The variables are, try to guess. Yes, you are right. The variables are writing difficulties. That's one. Writing difficulties, number one variable. Writing behavior, another variable. Writing performance, another variable. Okay, academic writing may or may not become a variable, but at least you have 3 there. And the setting will be University X, right? And the subject are undergraduate. So the title has got all 3. Not too long, okay. All right. So my keyword styles will be, I would ask my supervisor to list down the keywords from the title. Once you've got the variable, the setting, and the subject clear, then I want you to list down the keywords from your title. So in this case, the keywords will be perceived writing difficulties, writing behavior, writing performance, and academic writing. Keywords are actually the variables. Okay, but sometimes if you're beginning to write academic writing, the word variables would be would scare them because it sounds like doing research. So keyword will be a lighter word. All right, so keywords there. Let's try some title. All right. Online learning readiness among lecturers at faculty X University Y. All right. So the variable will be online learning readiness. There will be a few learning readiness actually, but here you're talking about the online learning readiness. That's a big topic there. Setting where at University Y, Faculty X, University Y. Who are the subjects? Lecturers at Faculty X. So this is another example where you use variable, setting, subjects. Next one. Let's look at another title, another example. The relationship between leadership style and coping strategies on job stress and job satisfaction among employees at company X. So what are the variables? The variables and the keywords are leadership style, coping strategies, job stress, job satisfaction. Setting, where is it going to be done? At company X. So who are the subjects? The employees. Okay, so those are 2 examples. I hope it's clear. Right, let's go on to the introduction. This was just a title. Right, you want to choose? You can choose to have a 5 minutes break here and come back for the next slides. Pause if you want. All right. Okay, welcome back. Chapter 1, Introduction. A lot there to chew. Normally, but not all the time, in the introduction, you would have an overview. You would have a background of study. You would have statement of problem. This is a must. You would have rationale of study, and you would have the purpose of study. Some people just put objective. It's fine. You should have research questions, all right, or hypothesis, and it's good to have definition of terms. Let's begin with okay, for before we begin to we continue to the next slide. For introduction or overview, normally I would write the introduction or overview last when I'm done with background, statement of problem, purpose of study. That means when I'm done with chapter one, then I go back and write the overview, because the overview, the introduction, gets the reader ready to what they will see in chapter one. So you might want to finish your chapter one, first finish writing everything, and then go back to the introduction part, 1.1, and you summarize it so that when the reader reads 1.1, the reader starts your introduction and the reader can have an overview of what they will expect to see in chapter one. All right. So let's go on to 1.2, background of the study. This discussion should create in the readers the desire to know more about the study. Prepare readers to gain a better understanding of the research topic in the relevant context. Start with a general statement of explanation, after which you can focus on to specific idea. I like this inverted triangle. General, okay, and then finally focus. All right, the specific discussion now should be based on appropriate theories, concepts, models, and principles within that particular area of research. Secondary data from various reports, such as government reports, agency reports, and even newspaper cuttings, can be used here. Information from current research findings should be cohesively tied with the study in question. Okay, background of study. Uh, uh, More often than not, from past experiences, if you want to do a good background of study, right where you fell in love with a topic or a title to start your thesis and on. You found a topic that you like. You have a working title that you like. Don't don't leave it there. Okay? Don't even start writing your background of study. Don't even plan your methodology. You should read up first. Read up this particular area of study. What are the theories that backs up what you want to know? You cannot use people's experiences. Yes, it can be a method of something, but it cannot be based on just people's experiences. You should read up theories that backs up the topic that you are reading, the concepts, the models. All right, you should read up what are some of the theories that backs up this particular topic that you're interested in. Then with that in mind, these are the things that you can keep and actually write it in your background of study. All right, go from general to specific. The specific discussion now should be based on the theories. All right, so let's look at some um, here. After you made it from general to specific, then after that the specific discussion now cannot be based on appropriate use theories and concepts and models. You can also use newspaper article, but only to show um, the the importance of the topic, perhaps in the society. Okay, how important is it? Perhaps you can use secondary sources here. Okay, let's look at some examples. All right, for background of study. For the first title just now, online learning readiness among lecturers at faculty X University Y. All right, the setting is faculty X. The subjects is this. All right, and subjects will be lecturers. All right, what do I mean by there? Inverted triangle from general to specific. What do I mean by it? All right, if this is the title of your research, what's general? You begin with the um, modes, different modes of teaching and learning in universities, especially these days. The modes of teaching has changed. All right, sometimes for certain courses it's purely online. All right, but you got to list all that first before you give online as one of the examples. You got to give all the other types first. Go general first. All right. Then you might want to write about the online learn, what online learning is all about. Okay, first before that, remember for the start of your background of study, you go general first, go all the different types of modes, and your title will be one of it. And you go smaller, focusing on, yes, now is the online learning. It's smaller now, specific now. You might also want to write about why there is a need for online learning. Why must there be online learning? All right. And you can even use here for the background, you can use secondary sources, newspaper articles would be good because people are talking about it. The education ministry is talking about it to back up the need to have online learning. Then you can use, or if you have a blueprint of education plan of your country, you can even write that and focus on online learning. Okay, slowly you can write about what slowly there you go general. Now you are focusing to make it more specific. All right. Slowly you write about the readiness. You see, you go general, focus. Now is the readiness. That's coming to your title already. Then you can write about what it means by online readiness. You can end there for your background of study. Okay, next one, let's look at another example. Second one, the relationship between leadership style and coping strategies on job stress and job satisfaction among employees at the workplace. Again, my favorite inverted triangle. The writer may want to discuss environment in general. So may want to write about work environment in general. Okay, go general first because at the end of it, you're going to talk about employees at the workplace, right? So you talk about work environment. What are things there are? Maybe some theories about work environment. You can also write about the relationship or communication at work. Okay, from work environment is very general. You go down a little bit specific. You talk about how people communicate. Okay, what are the relationship at work? Okay, is coming down to becoming more specific. Then going down again, go look at your variables, your keywords. Then you might want to talk about leaders. Look at the keywords. Leadership styles at work. Okay, look at the keyword. Then again, you can talk about some of the theories about what makes people happy at work. All this must be cited. It might not be uh, 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 strong theories, but they're cited work from trusted and authoritative sources. The writer can then talk about stress at the workplace, still focusing on the keywords. Is now going to be more specific. And finally, what causes them and how to cope with stress. So can you see the feeling of general to specific? Okay, so we are done with background of study. All right. You might want to take a 5-minute break and chew all the information about background of study first, or look at your notes and pause if you want. All right. Then you can, after that, you can go on to the next stage. Statement of problem. Okay. If I may joke, statement of problem is usually a problem among writers, a problem among supervisors, checking supervisors' work on statement of problem. Statement of problem is a problem. Um, Before I begin, I used to have a joke. I used to have a story. It may or may not be relevant, but just to start off with a story about what statement of problem is about. Okay, the word is problem. Remember, long some time ago, I don't know whether they have it now. CSI, watching CSI, my favorite program. You watch the program CSI, and at the beginning of the story, usually you have dead bodies everywhere. A dead body in a setting, right? And then you have police, a group of policemen taking the proof and evidence. They'll be around there, and then and then after that, in the next scene, somebody is in the questioning room. Of with the police, and then I know this is a story, but this is my example of statement of problem for some basic researcher. When the police asks, all right, you we suspect you of killing so and so, why do you kill that person? So this person's this uh female a female suspect will smile in a very smile in her own way. Either she looks scared or she look very confident, sarcastic smile. And then she say, "Okay, let me tell you a story." Right? Then she'll say, "Okay, when I was in school last time, we were in the same school, and I worked very hard to get my scores, and she worked very hard too. We're gonna pretend as if the dead body is a lady as well. Okay, then she also worked very hard. Then there was one instance where she cheated on her work, and she even lied to the teacher about my work, and because of that I was reprimanded, and she got a lot of praises. That's number one. I hate her. Number two, you mean that's the police asked this lady, is that the reason why you kill her? Then after that, this person, okay, 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 okay. Let's give me another reason. Okay, so when we were in the university, again we met. We ended up at the same university, and then again we were among the top students in our faculty, and we worked very hard to get where we want, and towards the end of the our study time, we were fighting to become the best student. I almost got it, and actually she did many bad things, and in the end I didn't get to be the best student, and she got it through her own devious ways. Okay, number two. Number three. Okay, two reasons. Yeah, number three. All right. Then, unfortunately, we ended up working at the same big company, right? So, okay, I thought she has changed. We became friends, actually. I thought she has changed. We became friends. And actually, for one very big promotion, we were both fighting for it, and I didn't know she was also fighting for it, because she kept our relationship very nice and very cool. And at the end of it, I was fired from my job, and when I left the company, I realized that she got the post that I was fighting for. So that's those are the three reasons that I kill her. So that would be the statement of her. So why do you kill her? So that will be, why do you want to do the research? All right, okay. So I don't know whether that's a good story or not, but there's some cute stories that I can share with my students if they want to start off with the example of statement of problem. Okay, on a serious note. Okay, statement of problem. Method one. Put the problem in context. What do we already know? All right. So first, what do you already know in the problem? What are some of the things that you already know? And number two, describe the precise issue that surrounds the problems just now. The problems just now, the issues that surrounds your topic. Okay. Then show why that problem is important. Right? And therefore, you set the objective. That's method one. My favorite that's method one. Sorry. Now my favorite is method two. I have these three tips that I make it as a mantra to my supervisors. Ideal problem solution. All right. State the ideal situation of your issue. All right. Just like the story just now. The ideal situation. with citation, of course, not just a story. State the problem in the issue. What is a problem? Problem that makes it difficult to achieve that ideal situation. And finally, the solution. The solution would be your research. All right? Okay, let's look at examples. All right? Um, the examples will be the titles that I used just now, the two titles, the online and the work stress examples just now. The first one, online title will be online learning readiness among lecturers at Faculty X, University Y. All right, if you look at this, again, the setting will be faculty X. The subjects will be lecturers. Okay, let's look at the ideal situation, ideal problem solution, the three mantra. Okay, the ideal situation. The ideal situation will be cite the benefits of online learning. All right. Um, all the things, all the good things about online learning. All right. Cite. Then after that, you cite the issues with online learning that makes the that makes it difficult to get the benefits. Problem? Why? Because you can't achieve the ideal, right? Issues with learning. Why learners? Okay? And solution will be that's why you're doing the research. So you want to explore the readiness among lecturers. So that will be one statement or problem from one example of a title. Okay, next one. The relationship between leadership style and coping strategies on job stress and job satisfaction among employees at company X. So it could be leadership. So the variables, just not the keywords just now. You have the leadership style, coping strategies, job stress, and job satisfaction. Company X, the setting is company X, and the subject will be the employers. Ideal problem solution again. Ideal. What's the ideal? That the work and good work environment can benefit many parties in so many ways. So you might want to cite all the good benefits of it. Then after that, what are some of the problems that makes it difficult to achieve that benefit? Right? And finally, the solution. The solution is why you are doing this research. Right? Okay. So I hope the statement of problem examples are clear to you. Let's go on. Next, rationale of study. This is a brief, very short. This can be very short, very brief explanation of why your research topic is worthy of study and may make a significant contribution to the body of already existing research. Used to have first-time researcher who actually write save the world because the world needs to know this. It doesn't need. It can just be something small, just something. Just why you think that this particular topic should be researched. All right, why the worthy of your study? What kind of contribution does it make? Where? To who? To what group of people? So very brief explanation on why is it worthy and what contribution it can make. Let me go on to the purpose of the study. Right? This can be this is the statement of purpose is not simply a statement of why the research is being done. All right, this is what just now, that if you say why the research is being done, that would be the rationale then. But the purpose refers to the goal of your research. What do you want to get at the end of your research? What's the objective of your research? All right, the purpose is actually the objective. What are you doing it? What are you going to get at the end of it? All right. uh, what are you going to get it? Just now, the rationale was why you're doing it. So next one is what are the objective of my research and what do I expect to discover or learn from this research? Normally, the purpose will end with a research question. Research question should be ends with research question. The question should be related to your research purpose. It should be focused and clear. All right. At this stage, for research question, it would be good to have you can either have one general a general research question. You can have specific research questions that will mirror your keywords, that will mirror your, okay, again, the research question should mirror your variables, your setting, and your subjects. It can be that. So therefore, we can see the focus of your research. All right. Okay, let's go on to definition of terms. Alphabetical is good. All right. Terms or acronyms, particularly ambiguous terms or those used in a special way. Your thesis proposal or your thesis will likely include terms that are widely known outside of your discipline. These terms include particular theoretical construct formulas, operational definitions that differ from colloquial definitions. This part of your research of your proposal offers the reader a list of definitions. All right. Remember, the definition should be cited. All right. Try not try not to cite from dictionary because you are postgraduate students. Don't cite from dictionary. It should be cited from experts. How you define such term should considerably affect how the reader understands your thesis. Now, some particular terms could be a general term which you assume many people already know, but you might want to cite it and actually you might want to define it, but in your definition will be the scope of your research. It's like telling silently telling the reader, I know you know what the definition of this term is, but look here, for my research, this is how I'm going to look at it. So you might want to uh, use that reason to define certain general terms that you think people would understand. Be sure you use these terms in a consistent fashion. Okay, if this term is used in different ways, then maybe you should cite all the different forms of the terms. All right, or else then the reader will get confused. Just now you say this, now you're referring to this, so you might want to write all the different angles that you are using it for. All right. Some tips for definition of terms. Title just now was Title. Now for terms will be TERMS. T will be translate terms into clear and explicit language to avoid misinterpretation. Explain using the correct definition. Try not to use a dictionary. Use from trusted authoritative sources. Reword terms using simple, clear language. Of course, you don't copy and paste the terms, although it is general knowledge. Everybody should know it that way. But if you copy it later, you will be accused of plagiarism. You got to reword it. Make sure the message sent out is message received. Use it the way you have defined it. If you have used it in a different angle, then define the different angles that you are going to use it. S. Substantiate one form of definition with another to provide a better understanding. Yes, you can compare. Unlike the definition by so and so, some people see that you can even do that, but don't write in such a way that it's not confusing to the reader. It only gets it clear because they will omit certain type of ideas so that then they will focus on what you want to say. Okay, if you want to substantiate from one definition from another, make sure that you are not going to end up confusing the reader, but you're going to make them clear that okay, this is not this, but this is this. All right, okay. We almost come to the end of title and introduction. Right? Let's sum up first. Right? What have we looked? So we have come to the end of chapter 1. I hope you've gotten some knowledge from the slides on title and introduction. Good luck and thank you.